Well, it had to happen, and we heard a long time ago it was going to happen, and it has happened. Big Ange has been sacked from the Tottenham Hotspur, and they're going to get a new gaffer, which I must say, as a rival fan, I'm very disappointed. But yeah, that had to happen. He was jammy in terms of reaching the targets. He's left them where they need to be. In fact, he's left them in a ruddy, wicked... It's so peculiar. It's paradoxical because he leaves doing an amazing job for them. Yeah. In terms of where they're going next. But had he'd stayed, it would have been awful. And he would have been doing more damage to the club. So by leaving, he kind of gets to drop the mic. And history will look at him as the first gaffer who won the trophy for the first time in ages for Spurs. And got them Champions League football, should I say. But guys, the fact remains, they didn't get to 40 points. They were awful. There was stubbornness. They did win the Europa League. And I'm very mindful to not criticize teams that win trophies because that's what it's all about. But let's be real. In Europe, the Europa League, they stank their way up to the final, playing really reactive, defensive, stinky football against really weak opposition, only to meet the worst Manchester United in the Premier League era in the final. And they won a terrible final through a terrible goal. A terrible team. Now, that's all well and good. Spurs fans shouldn't care about that. And they rightly will celebrate a trophy in Champions League football. That's what football's all about, baby. So shout out to the Tottenham fans, I suppose, as much as loath as I am to do it. And I'm worried because they have an amazing training facilities, an amazing stadium. They've broken the Spursy curse, should I say? Ange has. So they won a very good trophy. I think the Europa League's a great trophy, especially now the Conference League's in. It's only elevated the status of the Europa League. I think it's a great. Even back when we won it, Chelsea won it in 2013. I loved it. Do you know what I mean? So there's it's good. It's good position. It's a good position, and Tottenham didn't announce this by saying, after discussion and mutual consent parting ways, no one's passed away. They posted this on their socials following a review of performances and after significant reflection. I'm just reflecting. The club can announce that Ange Postecoglou has been relieved of his duties. I relieve you of your duties. Sacked. He has been sacked. We have canned him. He did do a statement himself, which is a kind of sentimental and nice, and then afterwards Tottenham, shortly after, released their own. We're extremely grateful for Ange's commitment to with a little image that says "Thank you, Ange." So the optics is all warm and fuzzy towards the end. I did notice, I won't bore you with it now, you can go seek it out. I did notice in Ange's goodbye statement, he completely dodged. I thought if he had a little bit of self-awareness, he'd be like, I do understand how the league form was just completely unacceptable for a club this size. It is mind-blowing that even now, when he's got the trophy, the glory, the presumably payoff, money as well. Even now, when he's had some time away, he's been on the beach somewhere, he still just pretends like the league doesn't exist. The Premier League team in the Premier League and the league in England. He just pretends that doesn't exist. He's blind to it. La 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 la, I can't see it. Europa League. La la. Look at this terrible football we played in the Europa League against poor opponents. And Tottenham fans will not forgive that league form. It was awful, bro. How has he been not happening, can't hear you. And you haven't got 40 points, mate. Injuries. But, you've got all these facilities and your £60 million striker and all this, and you can't get to 40 points. It's crazy. Right till the end, he just pretended the Premier League doesn't exist. Let's just see. We're grateful, yada, yada, yada. However, the board has unanimously concluded... everyone on that board, that it's in the best interest for the club to take change to take place. Following a positive start to the last the first campaign, yada yada yada. This culminated in our worst ever Premier League finish last season. At time, there were extenuating circumstances. There were some injuries, and you can use that excuse a lot if you want. Injuries, and then a decision to prioritise our European campaign. While winning the Europa League this season ranks as one of the club's greatest moments, we cannot base our decision on emotions aligned to this triumph. Bang! I love this! This is hot literature. They could have just been like, they're giving context and shout fair play. Do you know what I mean? To the Tottenham board. Because they could be like, we decided to part ways, mutual agreement. Spurs will be looking forward to a new appointment. Bang. That's what they could have just done. Yeah. But they're like, nah, this is really good, but really it's bad. And it's bad. We can't be led by emotions because this is bad. Worst Premier League. They're like saying we can see this. Yeah. Which is great. I like how they're not doing it. Ange Postecoglou, la 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 la. We can't see this. We can't hear this. We cannot base our decision on emotions aligned to this triumph. Jesus, that sounded like a serious football club. It's crucial that we are able to complete on multiple fronts, as in get to 40 points in the Premier League. And believe a change of approach will give us the strongest chance for the coming season and beyond. This has been one of the toughest decisions. God, this is like such a lame breakup we have had to make, and it's not a decision we've taken lightly, nor one we have rushed to conclude. Yeah, unanimous decision though. I reckon it was done pretty quickly. We have made what we believe to be the right decision, given the best chance going forward, yada, yada, yada. We have an extremely talented young squad, and Ange has given us a great platform to build on. 38 points? Is it? Thereabouts. Excuse me, I've just eaten loads of food. We'd like to express a gratitude to him. He will always be welcome back. Ah, that's nice. Right, so we've gone through that. It's the right decision. And Fabrizio Romano, is always on the case with transfers and managerial appointments. He has been on this one quickly. And he said Thomas Frank and Marco Silva are the two names that remain high on the Spurs shortlist after decision to sack Ange Postecoglou. Now, Thomas Frank, bro. Chelsea nearly looked at Man United. He was in the running for big jobs. So he's 51. Now, Marco Silva's got to be younger than that, surely. He looks younger. Well, he's only 4 years younger. He's 47. Now, Marco Silva historically has had his head turned all over the gaff. Watford, Everton, jumping around. As soon as he hears a better club is available, generally he gets the heck over there. So he was at Hull. He got his head turned by Watford. He got his head turned by Everton. I think he might have got canned by them. It didn't go so well. And he's obviously been at Fulham since 2021. He seems to have settled. And Fulham were good. Fulham were in a position that maybe they could have challenged for Conference League at points. And Fulham aren't a club that everyone buys their players. Brentford, people buy their players. Tony to Saudi, looks like Burmo to Manchester United. And Thomas Frank is in his 50s now. And he's obviously, I think he's wanted that job for a while. He's ambitious. The way he speaks about certain opportunities, I think he knows now's the time to strike. He's, like I said, he's 51. He's not good. I know Ange is 60, and how old is Ange Postecoglou? I think Ange is 59. Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like Thomas Frank's been going for this job for a while, and now is his time. He's a great coach. Genuinely, I'd be very interested to see. I'd be very, very interested to see how he deals with better play. Just look at what he's done with Shard. Look what he's done with the front three of Sharda and Burmo and Johan Visser in the absence of Ivan Toney. And everyone was like, oh, how are they going to survive without Toney? Really ruddy well is the secret to that, actually, is the answer, to that. I think he'd do great at Tottenham. I think he'd take dynamic young players and make them really good. And, he'd get a lot out of Dom Solanke. And with that, he'll make them a serious team again. Simple. Either Marco Silva or Thomas Frank would just sort them out, wouldn't they? Really, let's be real, man. let's be serious. Right decision to sack Ange, of course, and probably the right decision to hire either or. I think Thomas Frank, because of how he's spoken in recent months and how he's been interviewed by big teams, he would just jump in and say, "Yep, thank you very much. I will take that chair, and I will get you more than 38 points. I say that much." And yeah, good on him. I'm speaking like he's been hired here, but this is theoretically. If he gets the job, great. Champions League, Tottenham could be out of the banter era. Let me know what you think, though. Comment down below. Daily uploads here on Football Yannick. Road to 20,000 subscribers, which is awesome. I'm very thankful for that. So if you like my commentary, please do consider subscribing. And thanks for liking the video and all that nice stuff that is just helpful. Yeah. All right, mate. Take care of yourselves. Peace.